Damn. Who would have known what took me so long to research the NFC South? I mean, it's not all teams' fault. New Orleans Saints, they got Chris Olave. They're going to do their thing. Tampa Bay Buccaneers signed Baker Mayfield to a new contract. And my Falcons, they got Bijan Robinson and Kirk Cousins. They're going to do it. But you know what? It's those damn Carolina Panthers. 2-15. How am I supposed to hype up a 2-15 team? How in the world can I hype up a 2-15 team? How the fuck can I hype up a 2-15 team? How's a team go 2-15 anyway? 2 wins in 17 games, and I'm supposed to hype them up? 2-15. What's up, y'all? It's your boy Deboe Vibes right here, and thank y'all so much for coming by another episode of Deboe Vibes Sports Dive. DVSD! You already know what the deal is. Like I said, it's your boy Deboe Vibes, host of the Deboe Vibes YouTube channel, host of Deboe Vibes Southside Foodie, and host of the Deboe Vibes Sports Dive, y'all. Thank y'all so much for coming by. So let's get into it. We're going to stay down south. Y'all remember last week, or actually 2 weeks ago, because I took about a week, we talked about the AFC South. So I'm in the South. I'm in the A. So let's do it. Y'all know the deal is. This episode right here, we're going to do the NFC South. We're going to chop up the Carolina Panthers 2-15. 2-15. New Orleans Saints, Atlanta Falcons, my Falcons, and the reigning NFC champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And we also got a NFL old school throwback topic, and I think y'all gonna feel this one. Y'all gonna feel this one, you know what I'm saying? So with that being said, let me shut my mouth. Let's head down south, that dirty south. Let's get into it, y'all. Let's go! All right, so first on the agenda, like I said, is the 2-15 Carolina Panthers. How a team only wins 2 games in this season is beyond me. But here's the good news. Y'all. Here's the good news. Panther Nation, y'all did good. The Carolina Panthers hired former Tampa Bay Buccaneer offensive coordinator Dave Canellis, a very underrated mastermind in the NFL. We will talk about him in a second. But we cannot talk about the Carolina Panthers without talking about the first year of Bryce Young, who had a horrible season. The rookie quarterback from Alabama threw for only a little over 2,800 yards, 11 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. But he did show flashes though, particularly against the Green Bay Packers, where he completed 23 passes for 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. So here's a question though. Like I said, this man, he didn't have a good year, but he was drafted number 1 for a reason. He knows what he's doing. He has a skill set to get things done in the NFL. So with Brad Isaac, the new offensive coordinator, coming into the Panthers, as well as, like I said, Pete Canellis working with him, we shall see the development of Bryce Young. So with a new offensive coordinator, a new overall coaching staff, let's see if we can get a little more consistency from his second-year quarterback. He's a second-year quarterback now. He's not a rookie no more. So right now, there should be no excuses. Now, the Carolina Panthers wide receiver room got much better with the signing of Deontay Johnson, wide receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, Johnson, he did have a subpar 2023 year. Now, with that being said, this man is still a former Pro Bowler who had over 100 catches in the 2021 season. And the Panthers still have veteran wide receiver Adam Thielen. Bryce Young was still able to complete 100 passes to Adam Thielen, something to think about. And the Panthers also drafted wide receiver Xavier Legette from the University of South Carolina. This rookie has a massive frame. He's 6'2", 225 pounds, runs a 4.40. So he has size, power, and speed to stretch the field to be a big-time threat for the offense. And speaking of rookies, the Carolina Panthers also assured a solid backfield by drafting University of Texas running back Jonathan Brooks. Now, here's the thing about that. It's going to take a while for Jonathan Brooks to be incorporated into the offense because he did suffer an ACL injury last year from the University of Texas. However, with that being said, before he suffered that injury, Jonathan Brooks is one of the most explosive running backs in the nation, totaling 21 touchdowns before his injury. So you pair him up with Chuba Hubbard, And Miles Sanders, we got to see. He's a little bit, on the fence right now. He may not make the team. But with those running backs right there and the brand new receiving core with Deontay Johnson and Xavier Legette, once again, there is no excuses for Bryce Young to have any hiccups the way he did his rookie season. My dark horse for the offense is rookie tight end Ja'Tavion Sanders out of the University of Texas. In a Texas offense that featured Xavier Worthy, as well as A.D. Mitchell, he still managed 45 catches and over 700 yards. Let's talk defense, y'all. If you want to call it defense, the Carolina Panthers ranked dead last in turnovers last year. But they did get a boost, though, by signing Carolina native Jadeveon Clowney, outside linebacker. Now, he equaled his best season of the year last year in Baltimore with 9.5 sacks. And he'll be playing the strong side. He'll be strong side linebacker. And Jadeveon Clowney is a very tenacious run stop. And if y'all don't believe me, hey, ask that University of Michigan running back he destroyed. Overall, again, Dave Canales, new head coach for the Carolina Panthers, offensive genius, passing game genius. He turned Geno Smith to a superstar when he was with Seattle. Fast forward last year, he turned Baker Mayfield to a superstar in Tampa Bay. Both quarterbacks had the best seasons under Dave Canales. Now let's see how that translates to Bryce Young. Let's go! Let's go ahead and head to New Orleans. Them stanky ass Saints. Show respect, Deboe. Show respect, Deboe. I can't. I'm in Atlanta. New Orleans in Atlanta. We're big time rivals. But for y'all, we're talking about the steak motherfuckers. So let's talk about the offense right quick. And the offense has a new HNIC with the offensive personnel. And I'm talking about Chris Olave. Chris Olave, for the past 2 years, he's been a number 2 receiver. You know what I mean? But now with Mike Thomas gone, Chris Olave now, he's that dude. He's their number 1 right now. And even with him being a number 2 for the past couple of years, his first years in the league, he still posted back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. With Chris Olave being a number 1, that slides Rashid Shaheed into the number 2 receiving role. Now, Shaheed had a decent season on his own. He had over 40 catches for 700 yards and 5 touchdowns. With him being more involved with the offense, we should see him running more vertical passes, more screen passes, and also taking a little bit of pressure off Chris Olave. They can't just focus on Taysom Hill or Chris Olave. They got Shaheed, who's the number 2 receiver, who's going to be on the field way more now. And that should free up Olave for big-time plays for himself. And, of course, we can't talk about Saints offense without talking about Alvin Kamara. Y'all, Alvin Kamara was more on a milk carton than he was on the football field. The man literally disappeared last year. He had a career-worst 3.6-yard average and just under 700 yards rushing. Now, with that being said, he did have 75 catches last year. So we'll see if Kamara can get more involved with the offense under this new Clint Kubiak offense. Clint Kubiak was hired this past season as a new offensive coordinator. We're just saying a lot right there because let's talk about Derek Carr. Derek Carr is going to be working under Clint Kubiak. Clint Kubiak, son of Gary Kubiak, is a former passing game coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers. Nothing more needs to be said. You saw what Clint Kubiak did with Brock Purdy and that offense, that machine in San Francisco. So with all that being said, I'm projecting Derek Carr to surpass that 3,900 yards he had last year. He's going to get up to 5,000 yards passing because Clint Kubiak is a passing game coordinator who likes to maximize and stretch the field out. And you got a quarterback like Derek Carr who's not, when the season started, he was trash. But as the season ended, he got into a rhythm, and trust me, he got into a rhythm against my Falcons. So you install a new offense on his passing game by Clint Kubiak. I think Derek Carr is going to have about roughly 45 to 5,000 yards passing on Clint Kubiak's new innovative system. Let's talk defense. The Saints signed former first-round pick Chase Young from the 49ers. Now, this pick I think is going to be a very underrated, scary pick for the rest of the NFC South because it's going to add speed, more speed to the pass rush for the New Orleans Saints defense. So that defensive line is going to be with Chase Young, Carl Granderson, and of course, All-Pro Cam Hayward. So Just by that right there, that defensive line, the sack total should go up immensely. The Saints also signed very agile, very physical linebacker, inside linebacker Willie Gay from the Kansas City Chiefs. So a new linebacker core is going to be Demario Davis, Pro Bowl linebacker, along with Pete Warner, and now you start Willie Gay to the mix as well. Secondary-wise, they got Honey Badger. They still call him Honey Badger? Tyrone Matthew, free safety. And he'll be back in the secondary along with Marshawn Lattimore. The Saints also drafted rookie cornerback Kool-Aid McKinstry. Physical cornerback out of University of Alabama. So I see Kool-Aid McKinstry playing in a nickel, like a slot situations, and eventually working his way into maybe a starting role. But again, he's a rookie. We shall see. But he shined in OTAs, D'ing up against the slot receivers inside. So we'll see if that versatility can get him on the field a little bit more for the Saints. And like I said, man, overall, we'll see if the Saints can have a way better season than they did last year. Again, I think the key factor is Clint Kubiak's new offense, along with the play call and Dennis Allen, the head coach. Let's go! Now, see, Falconberry, I told you to hold it a little more better. Man. Hold it better. Don't make me slap your ass like it did last night. And that. Now, let's talk about the reigning NFC South champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bucs went 9-8 last year. Yeah, 9-8, and they won a damn South. That's how sorry this division was. Now, Buccaneer Nation, the great news for y'all is that Baker Mayfield finally has a home. Baker Mayfield signed a 3-year, $110 million contract to stay with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because Baker Mayfield was bouncing around the league, with the Panthers and then the Rams and finally with the Buccaneers. And he finally shined last year, had his best performance as a pro, passed for over 4,300 yards and 28 touchdowns, and a QB rating of 94.6. However, once again, we'll match the whole Dave Canales factor, the head coach of the Panthers. Dave Canales was his offensive coordinator. Okay, so he was shining under that offense right there. We'll see what Baker can do with Liam Cohen. Liam Cohen is a new offensive coordinator out of University of Kentucky. Now, he's more of a run-based person. He loves to run the ball. And at the University of Kentucky, you can tell he liked to run the ball. Ask Ray Davis. Ray Davis was a beast, a monster running back for UK. Speaking of running backs, we got to talk about Rachaad White. Rachaad White has all talent in the world. Speed, power, agility, spin moves, all that. This man had 3.6 yards averaging last year, which is awful. As a matter of fact, his whole career, he has below a 4-yard average. He's averaging like 3.7 yards a carry. So you install him into his new run-based offense. And again, Rachaad White, he showed flashes last year. But can he do it on a consistent basis? Now, with that being said, look for rookie running back out of University of Oregon, Bucky Irvin, to ease a little bit of load for Rachaad White, to help keep Rachaad White fresh. And a fresh Rachaad White is a dangerous Rachaad White for the NFC South. And speaking of offense, you can't talk about offense without the Buccaneers' greatest receiver. That would be one Mr. Mike Evans. Not only that, his fellow wide receiver Chris Godwin also had 1,000 yards. So team these guys along with very underrated tight end Cade Otton. We'll see what the offense can do. Now, my dark horse for this offense is going to be rookie wide receiver Jalen McMillan out of University of Washington. McMillan played alongside Roma Dunze, Jalen Park, and of course, Michael Penix Jr. in that prolific offense at the University of Washington. So I think eventually, but he's a rookie, of course. I think that Jalen McMillan can be installed as a 3 receiver because he's a very precise route runner, knows the passing tree, and very versatile with breakaway speed as well. Talk about the defense. Defensively, Todd Bowles is one of the few. I don't know how many head coaches does this, but he's one of the few head coaches who also serves as full-time defensive coordinator. And one of his favorite defensive packages are blitz packages. He loves a blitz. He loves a blitz all the time. To do great blitzes, you gotta have a great front seven. The front seven for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is average at best. Look at Yaya Diaby. He was their leading sacker at 7.5. Now you do have that space heater in front. Nose tackle Via Veda. He had 5.5 sacks. Other than that, that was it. That was it as far as the front seven is concerned. Fortunately, the Buccaneers, they did draft defense heavy by drafting Chris Braswell, linebacker out of Alabama, and Tyke Smith, the safety out of Georgia. The Tyke Smith pick, I love that pick right there because it gives this man time to learn behind one of the best, if not the best safety in the NFL, Antoine Winfield Jr. So we should definitely see an advanced development approach, particularly with Tyke Smith, but also with Chris Braswell, who's penciled in as number 2 linebacker. We see what happens in training camp for them. Overall, we're going to see what happens with Baker Mayfield working a new offense, his third new offensive coordinator in 3 years. So can Baker Mayfield do the same thing he did last year when Dave Canales was the offensive coordinator that he can do this year when new offensive coordinator Liam Cohen? We shall see. Tampa Bay had a great playoff win last year against the Eagles, blew the Eagles out. But I know the Buccaneer Nation wants more. Trust me, the swashbucklers want more. And if Todd Bowles can deliver, this might be it for Todd Bowles as head coach of Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Let's go! Now, let's go to my team. My team, you already know what the deal is, the Atlanta Falcons. Now, the Atlanta Falcons rehauled the entire staff and brought in Raheem Morris, our new head coach. But we also brought in offensive coordinator Zach Robinson, as well as new defensive coordinator Jimmy Lake. So, we all know the elephant in the room, which is Kirk Cousins. We got Kirk Cousins from the Minnesota Vikings, and we signed him to a 4-year contract worth over $180 million, and 110 of that is guaranteed. Now, of course, the elephant in the room also is the signing of Michael Penix Jr., but it was more of an insurance policy in the event anything happened to Kirk. If anything happened to Kirk, we got Michael Penix Jr. Now, Kirk Cousins, as well as the entire Atlanta Falcons offense, is working under Zach Robinson's scheme, which is the 11 personnel. 1 back, 1 tight end, 3 receivers. Very similar to what you saw in LA with the Rams, because this man was offensive coordinator out there alongside Raheem Morris. So this upcoming season for the Atlanta Falcons, the passing game will definitely be more emphasized. And to be honest with you, I don't think we've seen a passing game from the Atlanta Falcons coming up since the days of Matt Ryan. They're going to pass the ball that much because the passing game is emphasized by this new offensive scheme from Zach Robinson. And the beneficiaries will definitely be the wide receivers, which starts with Drake London. Drake London, his rookie year, had 800 yards receiving. Last year, he had 900 yards receiving plus. This year, he's going to break out. With this new scheme, he'll be utilized just like the Rams utilized Puka Nacua last year. Now, we also picked up Darnell Mooney from the Chicago Bears and Rondale Moore from the Arizona Cardinals. So those are our starting 3. The tight end position, Kyle Pitts. In 3 years, he's had 6 touchdowns, 3 last year. He might have 3 touchdowns in 1 game, the way the tight end's going to be utilized. Kyle Pitts is finally will be utilized in ways that Atlanta Falcons fans like myself have not seen before. Now let's go ahead and talk about one of the best running backs in the league. Behind CMC, Chris McCaffrey, Bijan Robinson might be the best running back in the league. The reason I say that he showed flashes last year, despite the fact being horribly underutilized by Art Smith. So even with him being underutilized, Bijan Robinson still averaged 4.6 yards a carry and still had almost 1,000 yards. He was 25 yards short of 1,000 yards and 4 touchdowns. Now, last year, Zach Robinson turned Kyron Williams, the running back in LA for the Rams, into a megastar. Now, Bijan Robinson is already superstar status. So imagine what Bijan's going to do with this offense right here. Will the Falcons be the best offense in the world? No. No, they're not. We're still talking about the Falcons. The fluidity of the offense will be based on how well Kirk Cousins can react and read the defenses the way he did up in Minnesota and distribute the ball to these unbelievable, talented wide receivers. And of course, Bijan Robinson speaks for himself. On defense, Jimmy Lake is a new defensive coordinator. He runs a base 3-4 defense, which means 3 down linemen, 4 linebackers, and minimum of 4 defensive backs. Now, my concern is this. This is the 3rd defensive coordinator the Falcons have had in the past 3 years. The last ones being DPs, Ryan Nielsen, and now Jimmy Lake. The overall focus will be on speed. With a 3-4 defense, you got speed. You got 4 linebackers and 4 DBs. So for a linebacking core of Arnold Ebiketie, Caden Ellis, Lorenzo Carter, and Troy Anderson, we'll see what they can do as far as adjusting to the Jimmy Lake scheme. But that dude coming back from injury is no doubt our defensive lineman, Grady Jarrett. Now, typically he's a defensive tackle, but in this scheme right here, he can rotate from a defensive end and also the actual nose tackle position. The secondary is like night and day between the safeties and the corners. Mario Helms, the second-year man out of Alabama, he's a serviceable safety. However, we also have all-pro safety Jesse Bates, the goddamn 3rd. All-pro safety who shined last year. Now, my concern are the cornerbacks. A.J. Terrell, who's a blanket on wide receivers. He's a blanket, and that's why he doesn't have that many interceptions in his career, because no one throws his way. However, the other corner, Clark Phillips, second-year man from Utah, that's a problem. And that's why everybody wanted the Falcons to draft a cornerback. We had cornerbacks available to draft this year. They passed up on cornerbacks, and they went defensive line heavy, particularly with Rico Rororo from University of Clemson. So with all that being said, in my opinion, the defensive success will be measured upon how fast the Falcons front 7 can dominate the line of scrimmage, particularly Grady Jarrett. So overall, Raheem Morris, first-year head coach, Down here in Atlanta, we're very optimistic. I'm not being biased by saying we're going to win the NFC South, but I think overall offensively, we can actually win the NFC South. The only ones I'm concerned about are Tampa Bay Buccaneers because they have an overall better roster than we do, but that's why they play the game on the field. Let's go!
Off Deboe, off the left side, gets to the outside, first down, he shoots to the 20, the 30, they'll never catch him, he's at the 50, the 30, the 20, count him folks, silver and black, Bo Jackson, holy Toledo, 90 yards.
All right, y'all, so the old school throwback NFL topic, I want to talk about real quickly. It's like an out-of-the-box topic, you know what I'm saying? So I love the history of the leagues, especially talking about NFL greats. Well, in this story right here, not only am I going to talk about NFL greats, I want to talk about how I saw these three guys play, and one of them I saw play his last ever game. And so very briefly, I want to talk about the 1994 AFC wildcard game between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Miami Dolphins. And your boy, I was there, Joe Robbie Stadium, to witness the last game ever of one Joe Montana. Now, this game right here featured superstars all over the field, but the whole fact that I saw Joe Montana play his last game, as well as seeing Dan Marino play, as well as seeing Marcus Allen play, I saw all three of those guys play live in front, like right in front of me, goddamn. Matter of fact, the first play in the game was a Montana pass to Marcus Allen for like a 12-yard gain. Fluid. Marcus Allen was one of the most fluid runners I've ever seen. And Joe, the first drive, he was just throwing dimes all over the place, which resulted in a touchdown. But then Dan got the ball, and then he drove downfield. So Dan Marino, Joe Montana going back and forth. The first half, they both had 2 passing touchdowns. Flawless. It did come down to the fourth quarter, though. But the Dolphins pulled away, and they won 27-17. They were talking about the possibility of Joe Montana retiring. Well, he did. He retired. But this is why I'm kicking myself, though, y'all. This is why your boy's kicking himself right now. I'm kicking myself because, yes, I did go to the game, and I did see greatness. But I'm kicking myself, y'all, because your boy got drunk, goddamn. I got very intoxicated. It was me and my brother. Joe Robbie Stadium. Playoff game. Chiefs, Dolphins. And I got so damn drunk at that game, I can only remember the first damn half. Greatness right in front of me. Dan Marino, Joe Montana, Marcus Allen, right there. Me being an NFL historian, I should have just sat there and salivated watching his greatness. But no, I had to go to the concession stand and get fucked up. I can only remember the first half of that goddamn game. I was that drunk. And I had greatness right there, right in front of me. Oh, I'm sorry, football. I'm sorry, football. Nonetheless, I say all that to say this, y'all. I say all that to say this. If you got a chance to witness greatness, embrace that. Embrace it. So if you go to any game, any NFL game, basketball game, and whatever game you go to, and you actually had the chance to see greatness, embrace it. Because you just never know. And I wish going back to that game, I could truly appreciate it. But I was only 19 years old, so you know how that goes. But anyway, y'all, it's your boy Deboe Vibes right here. Thank y'all so much for coming by another episode of Deboe Vibes Sports Live. The next episode, we're going west side. We're going to talk about the Broncos, Chargers, Chiefs, as well as the Raiders. All right. So with that being said, we will vibe out soon. All right. Hey, yo, it's your boy Deboe Vibes right here, man. Guess what? I see greatness in you like you see greatness in me. I love y'all, man, from the top of my head so to my feet. It's your boy. Like I said, I'm one and only Deboe right here. As always, y'all. Respect, love, peace.
Deboe.
What? I want some of Deboe.